bit of an issue, but these stars play for a really long time. LeBron not only is hooping and about to make the playoffs, he's out here beefing with Stephen A. Smith.
Sure, it's really hard to compare these two sports. That's the whole problem.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing baseball can do other than changing the rules, which they flirted with in the offseason, of just giving a golden at-bat to a baseball team and saying, hey, at one point, every single game, the manager can say, let's have a pinch hitter. It's going to be anyone in my lineup. So if the bases are loaded in the bottom of the ninth inning and you are in your 8 or 9 spot in the lineup, the manager of the New York Yankees can say, you know what? No, Aaron Judge is going to take this at-bat, even though that he's not even on deck, not even in the hole, but he's somewhere else in the order.
I like that.
That's the reason why baseball is trying to maybe flirt with changing the rules in order to market their stars. A basketball player is always on the court if they're not load managing or if they're not injured. Like, that ball touches their hands so often, where a baseball player will have the ball hit to them a certain amount of times in the game, and they only get 4 to 5 at-bats if you're lucky, or they only play every 5 days if they're a starting pitcher. Yeah. So, like,
it's tougher.
You can't really build around the players as easily as you can in other leagues.
It's also a much more regional sport, and I do think that the fandom, like you talk about it with the Yankees, you don't just watch baseball, you watch the Yankees.
Yes.
And that's how everybody does it. Our guy John O'Terry, teammate here at ESPN West Palm, he has a Phillies jersey on today. He's not just tuning into whatever program. He's watching the Phillies all season long. Marlins fans that are headed to Lone Depot Park right now, same thing for them, except for it's a lot more miserable.
Well, that's the unfortunate truth with ESPN. They said, people don't really tune in as much as we thought to Sunday night baseball as they did in the past, where that was a prestigious honor. Where, wait a second, my baseball team's on national television on Sunday nights? Like, this is awesome. I get to watch them if I'm not in the area and all that. No, people watch their favorite team, and they will be devout and very loyal to their favorite team.
Yeah.
It makes 162 games.
I was about to say, it makes sense, too, because you're always competing with those games. When there's 162 games for all of those teams, it's not like in the NBA even where it's like, okay, all right, we're off. The Heat are off tonight. I'm definitely going to watch, Thursday night or Tuesday night on TNT. No, it's you are going to be watching your team all the way through. I get it. I just say this, for Major League Baseball, at the time it didn't feel ridiculous for me to say that the WNBA could eventually supplant it. And I didn't mean it in the way, because if you look at the salaries even specifically, they're nowhere close.
Yeah.
The WNBA is losing money still year over year.
I'm not come from somewhere.
Yeah. So it's not going to happen. But what I more so was saying is it was a more interesting and compelling league, and the brandability of its stars was resonating more with America than what it is with Major League Baseball.
Can you admit this something for me?
What?
You just like basketball more than baseball.
I do.
Is that just why you had that opinion at that moment?
No, I also saw how the trajectory of that league was taking off, and I thought that the attention around Caitlin Clark had more to do with her play style and her, she is a very magnetic star, the way that she plays fluidly, it feels Steph Curry-esque at times, the deep threes, the amazing dimes and whatnot. I thought that people's fascination was more so about Caitlin Clark's play, and what I've learned and grown to figure out over time had way less to do with that, and a lot more people just hated Angel Reese and just wanted to fight back and bark back at her because they didn't like her doing the whole, in-your-face John Cena thing to her. So that saga, sadly, was more driven by hate than it was love for the actual sport of women's basketball. I overreached what I believed, what I was seeing. It's my fault.
I will say I see I see the flaws in baseball as a mass appeal, and I've seen other sports right up the road take those shots at trying to make their sport more of mass appeal, like the PGA Tour did with TGL.
Right.
I don't know how you can TGL-ify baseball to try to grow the game in that aspect, but it's not a conversation that's been unsaid in those Major League Baseball offices. Rather than change the game that we have and change the 162 games that we do have, something additive that won't put in jeopardy the health of your players, that won't even put in jeopardy the prestige of the players, because you have baseball players that won't even compete in the home run derby because they don't want to mess up their swing.
Right.
Think about that, how golfers were able to walk into the Thunderdome, the SoFi Center, and weren't afraid of messing up their swing, which some can argue might be more technically fragile than a baseball swing, and they kind of did it there, had a great time there. Is there some way to give a different, new look version of baseball that is not the Savannah Bananas and is not changing baseball as we know it, it might be a way to make everybody happy.
Well, I know last year I said the biggest threat to Major League Baseball is the WNBA. You dropped a W, and if Adam Silver sees fit to change the calendar for the NBA and push it deeper into the summer and move it off away from football, because you can tell they feel that hurt. We didn't start caring about this NBA season until like January / maybe even up to February, really. Like, it was after the Super Bowl that people started actually like, oh, look, would you look at that? The Thunder are number 1 in the West?
Yeah, speak for yourself. I didn't start caring about the NBA until LeBron James started taking shots at Stephen A. Smith.
Exactly, but there's been great storylines all year long. Like, many people missed the first Cleveland Cavaliers 15-game winning streak, which happened early in the season when nobody gave a damn because we were still thinking, oh, the Jets have a shot here in the AFC East. Like Aaron Rodgers, once he gets Devontae Adams in-house, that's when things are going to change. Like, I do believe if the NBA can finally wrap its head around pushing the schedule back, maybe starting around Christmas time, playing through the end of July, like, that could be the biggest detriment to Major League Baseball. The WNBA likely never catches it. All right, I'll admit it.
Wait, so you think right now it's pro sports leagues, it's NFL 1, MLB 2?
No.
Okay, but like
NBA is number 2, but I think that the NBA moving its calendar and taking then away from some of the Major League Baseball's attention.
Okay, it'll hurt Major League Baseball, which allows something else to catch
exactly.
up. Okay.
Exactly. And again, I don't think that will be the WNBA per se. I'm not ready to go out on a limb. I'm not as inclined when it comes to sports business and I'm looking at these ratings data, and I'm not doing all of that. Just going off a field, baby.
See, I don't think it's a clear-cut number 2, number 3, NBA, MLB. I think it's depending on who you ask. I think it's such a you go to a different part of the country and you get a different answer.
That's true. There are many towns where Major League Baseball is bigger than the NBA. I will say, in general, the NBA is bigger. Like, if all of America, we take it all together, like the America viewing public, what we care about, the attention. Like, I don't think there's a single, like, if Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout got into a beef with Tim Kirchin,
Jeff
Passan, are we caring? Or Buster Olney?
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at this level. There is not it stinks because Shohei Ohtani's not from America.
Right,
so, like, there is
Mike
not
Trout.
a LeBron James, and Mike Trout's not personable.
Yeah,
he told us what he wants to do, and that's just play baseball, and that's
money.
it when he signed that massive deal with the Angels.
I don't even know if he want to play baseball that way. He just want to make some money. He just want to make some money. He want to get out there and swing the bat a few times, make some bread.
Yeah, certainly so. It's also how you judge success. Popularity. Is it just ratings? Because TV ratings,
it matters.
It might be more competitive than you might incline. If you go to social media numbers, it's NBA in a landslide.
Yeah.
And also 162 different games. That attendance number is much higher in Major League Baseball because of those numbers.
Yeah.
So much more people paid for a ticket to go to a baseball game last year than paid for a ticket to go to an NBA game last year. So you can pick and choose stats and numbers and metrics that you want to judge the popularity of each league. The crown is being weighted to had for second place.
I don't know. I think that crown, it's been settled. Now, we can get into this again at a separate segment. I just want to point out right quick, Jalen in the YouTube chat says Mike Trout does not want to play baseball.
What does he want to do? Go to Disneyland? I mean, he's in Anaheim.
No, I have no clue. How much do you know about Mike Trout? You know?
He's an Eagles fan. He's an Eagles fan. He's from New Jersey. He was brought up at the same time as Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
And he, at one time, was the only six-tool position player in Major League Baseball.
Right.
That's what we have with Mike Trout, and that's about it.
They couldn't wait to find another star.
That's true.
He has because he just doesn't want to be one, and I don't blame the guy. It's kind of like the Jokic thing, except he doesn't win mostly because of the franchise he's with.